Hello YouTube, this is Sonic2KK here, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm going to be kind of giving you a little introduction to the library called Mechanize. Now, Mechanize is a library that is designed to let you go onto a website, such as this one, which is an example that we'll be using. So you can go onto your website and you can use a script, a Python script, to get onto your website, but the website thinks you're a human because you can act like a human. You can insert data into forms, you can click links, you can modify HTML. I think that on the website, but like for your own sake. You can read HTML from a website, gather certain parts of HTML that you would like, and Mechanize actually doesn't use URL-lib or URL-lib2, if you know what that is. If you don't, it's basically a built-in URL library for Python. They actually removed the remaining functionality of libURL, I believe, in one of the recent updates, which was 2 years ago. I don't see why nobody's really contributed to it. It's an excellent library and it functions perfect in Python 2.7. I haven't tested in Python 3 and I'd actually like to do that. But Mechanize, yeah, it's a very good library. I have tested it in this website, which we'll get to in a second, and it works perfect. So this website is called Interletter. It was a website made by a friend of mine a long time ago. Well, not very long ago, but long ago-ish. Like not too long ago. About a month ago, not even a month, or more than a month ago actually. It would have been about 5 months ago that he designed this, and then he gave up on it, worked on a better one. It's called friendmail.site11.com. He really wants people to go on it. If you want, you can go on it. And this was like a prototype for it. So he used this, and I actually set up an account in Friendmail using Python, using this exact technique. And well, obviously there was a few differences, such as the URL and stuff. And I was able to set up an account. I told him, and I said, "Have you got like a test website you can set up so that I could test this and just test Mechanize in general?" And he gave me this, and I asked him, "Could I do a tutorial on this?" And he said, "Yeah." So I will do a tutorial on how to set up an account here with Python. And I'm gonna have this. This is the script that I am using. I'm not gonna read through this script. I'm gonna actually design it with you. But this is basically just a legal thing. I don't have to put this in, but I just put it in saying, this is what it does, what Interletter is, that it can be illegal if you use it in a malicious way, if you don't have permission and stuff. And here, this is important right here. If you for whatever reason want to ignore this and go forward, or it says some websites have a document called robots.txt. Facebook has this, for example. This document, if present, is read by Mechanize and stops the program because it thinks that it's a robot, and Mechanize does not wish to be used as a bot. But it says, if for whatever reason you want to ignore this and go forward, then please use the following command. You insert your browser name here, and a browser is an object in Mechanize. Set handle robots to false, so it will ignore that, and then you get onto Facebook or something and post on Facebook from Mechanize. I'm actually trying to do that. And then it said, please don't do any of it for legal reason. Don't learn to hack the learn, thank you. And then if we go down, it says here, this is the code. It may look a bit messy here, but basically, this is the internet URL. We try to import Mechanize. If not, then we will print an error message saying that Mechanize does not exist. We create a Mechanize browser. We open the Interletter URL, which is up here. We create a function called signup, which takes first name, last name, username, password, and email. Parameter, which is what we will use. It's what we use to sign in. The target URL, or the URL you want to go to, is called su.html, which is found whenever you click ain't got no account, create one here. Like that, it's called su.html. Then what we do, this is an old account that I set up as a test for Interletter. So we create Mechanize browser, then we say for link in br.links. This uses the browser object, which acts as a browser and gets every link on the current web page, which is the web page you go to whenever you first load up Interletter. If you don't have this part here, don't worry, it automatically takes you to li.html. That's like the index page. So we're on the index page right now, or the li, the login screen. For every link in that page, if this returns an object of Mechanize, and then link.url gets the URL of that. So if the link.url, if the link that we are on is the target URL, which just happens to be su.html, so if we're looping through every link there and we get su.html and it's equal to the target link, then we want the br.follow link, which makes the browser follow the link, which means basically click the link. So that will be the equivalent of me going here and clicking this. That's exactly what it does. And then we print whatever URL that we are on currently. We select the form, nr equals 0. This, you can either put in the name of a form if the form has a name. If the form does not have a name, nr equals 0 will select the first form. If you do nr equals 1, it will select the second form. Nr equals 2, it will go into the third form, and so on. A form, if you don't know, is in HTML. Basically, if you forget, which I did, it contains input fields for username, passwords, emails, stuff like that. Drop down lists, stuff like that. So then what we do is we say br first name, which gets the browser, and we're in the form right now, and it gets the form with the name first name. Every form has to have a name, otherwise it's not really a form, but like every field in a form really has to have a name. So br first name equals first name. This is what it's called. If we look into the source, view page source, it says right here first name, surname, username, p-word, and email. And then so we put in first name, last name, username, password, and email field that we get from the function name. And then right here we just say submission result equals br.submit. This basically just this returns whatever happens whenever we submit the data. So if we are taking to another page, it will contain the link to the other page, and we can view the HTML of that page if we want, which I actually had to do a friend mail because you get an ID, and I had to do that. But I won't show you how to do that friend mail. You're going to be on your own with that. Because I don't really want you hacking friend mail. So this login function accepts the username and password. You can store whatever you have up here in a global variable, but I didn't. And then we just open the enter letter URL, which takes us back to the home page. We select the first form, which is the only form, which is this. Why does that keep autofilling? So we do that, and then we say br my username equals username. If we look into the source here, the form is called my password, my username. So my username, my password. Then we say submission result equals br.submit. It basically does the same thing as up here, but remember this is a local variable, so it doesn't affect the one up here. Like it says here, like I said there, and then it says create an account and logs in. This is just a crappy test account that I send in. You can use this account if you want as a test. So creates an account and logs in. So we sign up using Adam, Jimmy, the lol joker 101, and super secret password and email. Enter letter doesn't parse emails. Pro tip, it doesn't parse emails on FriendMail either. But he's going to add that. So lol@fake.net basically is a fake email that I entered. Log in with the lol joker and super secret password. I calls the login function and it basically logs in. So let's see if we go here, right? If we try to log in as the lol joker, unless he's deleted it, it should still work. The lol joker 101 and super secret password. Because it's so super secret. That entered it. Crap. So login successful. Awesome. We're here and your ID is 12. Welcome to lol joker 101. So let's go here. I'm going to write this all with you in a second. So let's create another account. Sign up. Let's call it YouTube account. Lol JK bro. Password is 12345 because why not? Or 6 at Adobe. What? Let's see. Sonic GK at tutorial.edu. Why not? Or .ie because why not? Close that, then we say log in lol jk bro 123456. We go here, we save this in Emacs and run it. Did we get any errors? We shouldn't have. We've never tested creating more than one account before. Alright, okay, so apparently it doesn't let you create more than one account at a time. But if we delete this, it's gonna be a while apparently. Unless there's a quick way to delete the Cinemax. And I'm just too stupid to figure it out. If there is, please leave a comment telling me. And I'm sorry, my audio just got really there. I had to scratch my hand. It was too lazy to take my fingers away from the keyboard. So, save. Enter letter. And there we go. So, let's go back into our script. Lol JK bro. Right. Lol JK bro. And we want to say what was the password? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Login. Login successful. And here you can go. We logged in, but our ID is still 12 for some reason. And welcome to the LOL Joker. Oh, that was the LOL Joker. Oh, for God's sake. LOL JK bro. Is that it? Yep. And then 1 2 3 4 5 6. Awesome. Still calls us the LOL Joker for some reason. Even though we're not. We are LOL Joker. Wow. That's a bit weird. But anyway, we were able to log in. It's just internet that's been a bit buggy. As it usually is. So yeah, sorry about that little bug that doesn't let you create more than one account at a time. But you know, you would have this script, you would import it, and then you would just create accounts and stuff. You would call it, but you wouldn't call it the same script. I think that's the problem. So yeah, let's create a little thing. Let's create Emacs script.py because that.py is already there. So I also have this one in the description. So let's import Mechanize. Say try. Oh no, that should be in the try block. So if you're using Emacs, Control A and Control E take you to the end and beginning of line. Control A for end. Control A for beginning and Control E for end. Accepts import error print could not import Mechanize. Please install from Mechanize URL. I feel typing. I'm too lazy to Mechanize a website actually because I'm too lazy to go and get the URL. Because that's the type of person I am. So let's create a browser object equals, or BR we'll call it, equals mechanize.browser. So what is this? What is mechanize.browser? Well, it basically acts as a virtual browser. It's basically emulating a browser such as Google Chrome. Sorry. Oh God, excuse me. Such as Google Chrome or Firefox or Safari or, God forbid, Internet Explorer. So basically it acts as a browser. And actually connect to web pages and go back, forward, click links, stuff like that. Submit data to forms, obviously, which is what we're going to do. So then we want to say, let's see, enter letter equals, too lazy, let's just, not clay.io. Let's say br.open enter letter for links for link in br.links. This basically you should know what the for and loop does. It basically goes through, this returns a list of links on the web page, and each link is stored in the link variable. So link is basically how you access the current link that you're on. So let's say target URL equals su.php or php HTML if link.url is equal to target URL. What we want to say is print success. Let's test it out right now. Python script.py. Make sure everything's going correct. Yep, so we were able to find the link. Let's go back in here. Start coding again. And then we want to say br.follow link. This basically just clicks a link, as I said. It basically just clicks on a URL. Follow link is basically the same as me going here and clicking. No, I can't click here. Create one here. Let's say target URL. I could probably do that already, but we want to make sure that that page actually exists. We get actually have a boolean variable as well if we want to, but we're not going to do that right now. I'm saying actually a lot. I shouldn't. Then let's say print br.getcwd. I should print the current working directory. Our current URL. I'm thinking of something completely different. I'm an idiot. Let's go here. Say get URL. I think is the function name or be method. Oh, wait, what was that error? Star has no attribute. Right. Let's here I think we have to actually put in link because it wants to follow the link, not the string. It wants to follow the URL object that only Mechanize can read. Well, you could probably read it, but it's the Mechanize link object, browser link object. It never really got that far, so we don't know if that's actually going to work that part. Yep. So we're currently at su.html, which is where we want to be. Actually, does this? That doesn't take me to the bottom of the file. It just takes me to the end of the buffer. So after this, if this runs, and we could actually have this in a function as well, but I'm just not gonna do that. I could probably refine it a little bit as well. I might have another file then. This lips through every link on the page. We have a target URL called sign up to HTML, which is the sign up page, as we know. We say if the URL link is the target URL that we're looking for, the current link that we're on, if its URL is the target URL we're looking for, print success, click on the link, and return the current URL that we are at, which is the sign up page if all goes well. And then what we want to do is we want to sign up. This will be the fun part. So we want to say br.select form nr equals 0. This can take a name argument. I don't think it can take an ID or a class argument. It takes a name argument, which is the name of the form. If a form doesn't have a name, then what you can do is nr equals 0. Or you can put in anything in here. If you want to loop through all the forms, you could have a variable in here. Call it like form in a for in loop. Or for each, I think is what it's called. This is the index of the current form on the page. This is the order that the form is created. So you'd have to look at the source and say, right, this form is created, and then this form, and then this one, and then this form, blah, 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 blah. So this form actually does have a name. I didn't even notice that. It's called form 1. Maybe you ran out of that, but last night I didn't see it. So nr equals 0 selects the current form that is there, which is the only form, but it's the first form. So nr equals 0 is the first form, nr equals 1 is the second one, nr equals 2 is the third one, and so on and so forth. So we're selecting the first one, which has a where is it? I'm trying to scroll through with my eyes. My username. So br my username gets data from a form. And then what we want to do is we want to say equals, and then Jerry. I'm not going to create the functions or anything because it's time and stuff. My password equals oh, that's my username and my password. First name and surname, I forgot. Jerry. Yeah, random numbers. I'll copy that. BR. We're on the wrong thing, aren't we? Yeah, so we should be in SU. So I don't think the SU has one. SU. No, it doesn't have a name. Like I said, so first name, last name, username, P word it actually is. So P word. And I want to say first name equals fake br. Let's say, is it surname? Fake. Actually, fakey Mick faker, because we really aren't real. So email. Let's say joker at lol.fakebro. Scam. Because why not? I don't know why I did that. And then we're gonna say result equals br.submit, and this submits data to the web page. Since we're on a form, it will submit it to the form, and this will store the results. So what I want to do is, we want to say, after that we want to print result. I really don't know what it's going to be because I've never printed result. Let's see, will it run? First, oh, I spelled name wrong. Let's go in here. First, name. And yeah, it's the object that was returned. So it basically means that everything went okay. As long as you don't get any errors, everything should have went okay. So then what we want to do is we want to say br.open interletter. We should probably have interletter home or something so we can have a lot of different links for interletter. Then we want to say br. What's the select form? I forgot about it there for a second. nr equals 0. Well, you can actually say form 1 as well. Name equals form 1, just so we know. And then we want to say br my username equals it's Jerry. And then we're going to say br my password equals this really long string. br.submit, say result 2, even though I shouldn't do this, we just say br.submit. We could actually call this 1 for no reason. Let's run the Python script. Success, interletter.su, and done. So yeah, we can put that in one big try block as well, which I think we'll do in a second. Actually, no, we won't, because that's going to take too long in Emacs. So let's go into the script again. Let's get the username and password, Jerry. So let's go back to the login. That's the password. Let's say Jerry. And awesome. So it calls us the lol joker. But we were able to log in. What did that say? Oh, I thought that was something from interletter. I was going to be like, what? So yeah, that is the basics of how to use Mechanize. This isn't a tutorial, this is kind of like a semi-introduction. You can go and look at the source code for everything yourself. This was 40 lines of code, and that's with spaces. Actually, let's condense this a little bit. Make it ugly. And let's see how many lines of code it was. And that was 25 lines of code. It automatically has one when you save it in a lot of places, but that's essentially 25 lines of code that you were able to register for a website. Now, I think that is pretty darn awesome, if you ask me. Very Pythonic, the way you loop through everything. Really seamless, and it's very good. So, yeah. This is basics of how to use Mechanize. One last time. Try except block. We try to import Mechanize. If we can't, we raise an import error and print, Mechanize cannot be imported, please install it. Then we create a Mechanize browser object. about that. I don't know how that'll be edited out, but anyway, you might have been able to hear the rapping in the background. So where was I? Right, so it's very Pythonic. So we open up interletter using the interletter variable that we create up here. I say interletter for some reason. That's not the way I talk. I'm used to saying that in the way I say it for no reason. So we open up the interletter browser URL using our virtual browser object for every link for all the browser links. For all the links on the web page, we get all of them with the browser object. It returns a list, and we store the current one that we're on in the for each loop in link. Our target URL is su.html. If the links URL that we are currently on is the target URL, or in other words, if the URL that is currently there is the URL that we're looking for, then we print success. We follow the link, which is essentially clicking on the link. And then we print whatever URL we're on right now. We get the first form in the web page on su.html, which is the sign up page, and it's the only one. There's no names. We have to use nr equals 0 to select the first one and the only one. Br first name. The name of the form is first name, which accepts your first name is called Fakey. Surname McFaker. Username Jerry. Password 10384988284. Email is joker@lol.fakebroscam. Result 1 is br.submit, which is the result, and it's stored in a variable. I'll store it as an object stored as a variable, but it returns an object made by Mechanize, which only Mechanize can read, and this basically submits it all to the form as well. This just submits the data from the form to the web page. We open up the normal interletter URL. We select the form with the name form name, or form 1, which is on the home page, which just happens to have a name. If not, we could do nr equals 0 because it's the only one as the first form created. I've looked into the source code, so I personally know that, and I've showed you it. Then we get the form name. We get the input name with my username using the browser on that current form, and we input Jerry into it. And then we do the same, except we get the password and enter the password, and we submit it, and that basically sends us up and logs us in. And that is in 25 lines of code that you can do that. I think that is incredible that we're able to do that, actually. Now that I think about it some more, it's even awesomer. And you could go as far as you wanted with this. You could make your own Facebook client if you wanted to log into Facebook. I don't know how ethical that is, since you have to disable the robots thing, and I don't know how legal works with that. Let me know, because I was planning to do that, and then I saw that, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it's not ethical. But tell me if it is legal or not, and preferably give a source if you can. If you can't, just I'll take your word for it, hopefully, if enough people voted up and stuff. So yeah, you could do anything you wanted, and the best part for me, at least, is that it is in Python. There's Ruby version of this, and I believe there's a Perl version of it. Heck, there might even be a Lua version of it. There could be a Java version of it, or maybe it's not called Mechanize, maybe there's their own library. I think there's actually something like this. JJ, I believe, made something similar to this in Love 2D, but I'm not exactly sure what it was and what it was called. I used it though, and it was very good, but I can't remember the name of it. And I believe it did something similar. It read all the HTML from a page, and yeah, it did something very similar to this. You probably enter in form data and everything with it. So, yeah, that's basically it from me in this tutorial. My name was Sonic2, okay, and I will see you in the next tutorial.